Once again, we're staying in our ground floor plan.dwg file, and I've left it in the same state as it was at the end of the last video. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to look at lines, circles, and arcs in this particular video. Not in that order, but obviously we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to double click first on the wheel to zoom extents. And you'll notice there's a door opening over here on the right hand side of the building. I want you to zoom in onto that area there like that and pan across so that you've got a bit of space on the right. Go to the Home tab on the ribbon, go to the Layers flyout, and as you come down the list you'll see that there's a layer that ends in the word Site. Select that layer as your current drafting layer. We're going to draw some sight lines now for a new landscaped area outside the building that is going to be developed into a kickback area so that people can sit outside the building, have a cup of coffee, enjoy the sunshine. So we're going to go over to the line command on the draw panel here, again Home tab on the ribbon, and we're going to utilize some of our object snaps. You can see that purple grid line has an intersection with the wall just there. Left click on it and then drag out horizontally. Now your polar tracking is on, so as you drag horizontally you should see the 0 polar tracking line. If you don't, go down to the status bar and switch the polar tracking on. Make sure it's using those 90-degree increments. I'm going to type in a distance of 15000, 15,000 millimeters, which equates to 15 meters. I'm then going to press enter, and you'll see that line goes quite a distance out, you'll notice. Can you see that there? There it is there. Now, we're going to utilize a little trick with our object snap tracking. We're going to hover over this end of the grid here, like so. Don't click on it. And then just drag along. And as you get to the vertical there, can you see you get an intersection? So that's the intersection of the end of the line that you've just drawn and the intersection of the grid line. Left click. That's a nice vertical line. And then we're going to come along here horizontally. We'll zoom in. And when you get to the edge of the wall, see the grid line there, just follow that. You'll see an intersection there. Left click again, enter to finish. And when you zoom out and pan a bit, you'll see you've got a nice area there ready for landscaping that you've marked out with those 3 lines. Now, pan back to that last table that we drew. It's this one here, this rectangle here. Now, you'll notice it's still a rectangular polyline. Zoom in on it so that you can see the detail. What we're going to do is we're going to explode this polyline back to its 4 original line segments. So at the moment, this polyline is a compound object because it's made up of multiple objects. We're going to explode it back to its original components. So we've got 4 component objects. So go to the Modify panel. See the little sort of cube shape there? That's the explode command. Click on it. Take the pick box to the rectangle. Click on the rectangle. Press enter to confirm. It doesn't look any different. So you think to yourself, what have I done? Well, what you've done is you've exploded this back to 4 lines, like so. Now that's great. We need the 4 lines. We need those because we're now going to place some arcs. But we need to go onto the right layer. Layer drop down. And we need to look for our FFE, this one here. Not MH, just MFFE, that one there. That's our furniture layer. So make sure we're back on the right layer. Get into the habit of doing the right layer first time. Then you don't have to go and change properties of objects later. So we're going to go to the arc command now. This one here on the draw panel. And we want start, center, end. Now remember, arcs go counterclockwise. So if I start at this endpoint snap here, left click, come down to the center, which will be the midpoint snap here, left click, and then come down to this end here, you'll notice it's the wrong way round. So when I click there, that's gone counterclockwise based on start, center, end. Just go up to undo. One undo on the quick access toolbar, that'll lose the arc. Go back to the arc flyout and select start, center, end again. This time, endpoint snap here, left click. Midpoint snap here, left click. Endpoint snap here, left click. Perfect. That's where we want it. I'm going to go over here now to the arc command again. Start, center, end. If I start at the top this time, endpoint snap, midpoint snap, endpoint snap, because it's counterclockwise. Now, because we've drawn those arcs, we don't need these two lines anymore. So we'll select both of those, right click and erase. We've now totally changed the shape of our table. We'll go to the circle command now and center radius on the fly out there. Hover over this midpoint snap. Don't click on it. Hover over this midpoint snap. Don't click on it. And as you come down, as you can see, we get the intersection there of the polar tracking lines using our object snap tracking. Left click, drag out for our radius, and we'll type in 800. And there you go. There's our 800 radius circle in the center of our table. Very quick and easy. Now, you can also draw circles with a diameter as well. So if you go over here to the circle flyout again on the draw panel and select center diameter, just pick a point sort of top right of this area, click and drag. Now, as you come out, just have a look at the command line. It says specify radius of circle, specify diameter of circle. Now, it knows that the last circle that was drawn was using center radius and it was 800. So it's already got a default diameter of 1600, which is the equivalent of a circle with a radius of 800. So I can just press enter now, and it's drawn a circle with a diameter of 1600 based on the value of the last circle that was drawn. Very useful. Saves you having to keep inputting values all the time. If you've got a load of regular circles that are all the same size, that's the way to do it. Just check that command line, and it also shows up on the dynamic input as well. So that's some lines, arcs and circles for you, creating some basic geometry.